All right, 99.9 Punk World Radio FM. You guys already know what time it is. And right here, right now, we are actually live on the radio station airwaves, and we are joined by Winnipeg, Manitoba's own. That's right. We got Shit Happens right here, live on YouTube, and of course, the radio station airwaves as well. How are you guys doing this evening?
Doing
Fabulous.
good. Yeah.
No complaints.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Hey, I got to say, you are most certainly welcome. It's such an honor to be able to chat with you guys. It's crazy how technology works. You know, I'm down here in in Eastern Ontario. You guys are out there in Manitoba. We can just actually enjoy a beer and just talk about some amazing punk rock.
Cheers.
Absolutely.
Cheers. Hey.
Cheers. But also, obviously, the viewers and listeners tonight came in here to actually watch us talk about punk rock. And of course, not beer. So for the people that are just tapping in that actually aren't quite familiar with Shit Happens, I have to ask, can you introduce yourselves individually? And of course, just tell us a bit more about yourselves as individual members of this amazing punk rock group.
I'm Dustin. I am the drummer.
He hit shit.
I hit things.
Yeah. I'm Kayla. I'm vocals.
And I'm Bill, and I play bass guitar, and I scream sometimes.
And I strum the guitar. I guess that's what you would say for my role.
Yeah.
She's like the songwriter kind of savant.
Yeah,
We follow Kayla's lead.
Our songwriting process is I already have the lyrics, and I'm like, hey guys, I'm gonna scream some shit at you. Figure out the instrument sound. That's what we do.
that's literally how it works.
Yeah.
Got my emo book of slam poetry shit, and then they figure out the
She's
rest.
like, okay, this is how I want them to sound.
Yeah.
Attempt.
Yeah, pretty much.
Essentially, yeah. When we got to write a new song, Kayla's got something written in a book.
Yeah.
She's already got the cadence figured out, and then I basically listen to this slam poetry, and then okay, well, what rhythm cadence fits with her lyrics, and use a little bit of loose theory for some notes, and that's it.
Oh yeah.
And then we go
Wherever the time signature lands, we just run with it. We don't have any real we don't focus on it has to be this many beats per measure on this.
Sometimes I'm just like, I'm angry and this song is fast, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we gotta be as fast as her angry.
Yeah.
we
And
mold
then they catch up.
musically, we mold to Kayla's words, basically.
Yeah.
And I got to say, an average, but by the sounds of what you guys just said, an average studio session for Shit Happens, this sounds pretty justifiable.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. It sounds like that's basically how it goes in the studio. Honestly,
Yeah.
Obviously the songs are pre-written before we go to record them.
Yes.
But it's basically focused around, as long as the vocal cadence can link up with everything else, that's what we strive for, because that's kind of where the writing comes from. So,
And for me, like playing bass, it'll start out kind of like a skeleton of the song. And then once we play it a few times and I'm comfortable with it and we play it live a bit more, it gets more fancy as I'm more comfortable with it. So the fifth or sixth time you hear the song, it's not going to be like the first time you've heard it, because I'm more comfortable with it. We just kind of roll with it.
Yeah, our
basically.
songs kind of tend to evolve from like what we kind of first do, and like shit will kind of change in between.
Like-
There's a couple of songs we've done that with.
you've heard of 3-chord punk, 4-chord punk. We're like 3 to 5 chords.
Yeah. Right.
And obviously, just for the first 4 minutes of this interview, you can really hear your guys' chemistry. So you can tell that you guys really have a very close relationship. But I have to ask, what is the origin story behind Shit Happens? Like, what actually made you guys decide to come together and form this band in 2018?
So
Basically, me and Kayla got drunk one day.
I was cooking food in the kitchen, and then before we went to a show, and I dropped something. I was like, well, shit happens. And then Dustin was like, that'd be a good name for a punk band.
Basically.
And then it was just like a running joke for a while, and like we come up with some stupid phrase, like, that'd be a funny name for a Shit Happens song. And like the intention was kind of like, yeah, we'll just get shit faced and like write stupid shit. But like I'm too political and have too much to say for that. And then I know he found us a drummer, was like, I found us a drummer, so let's do this, write some shit for real. And I was like, oh fuck, okay, this is happening now.
Yeah.
This is actually happening. All right. And then it just kind of happened from there.
Yeah. Kayla, how many punk bands were you in before this?
0. This is my
Kayla,
first and only band.
I got to say, that's actually pretty impressive, because I do know a lot of other individuals that are in the punk rock scene have been in multiple bands throughout the years. So it's really cool to know that it's your guys' first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's Kayla's first. I
Yeah.
mean, Evan, Dustin, and I have been in a bunch of bands too, but it's never, for me, of all the bands I've been in, it's never been this, I guess, how do you say it? I don't want to say successful, but I guess, and I don't want to say
Momentous.
serious, but
Momentous, I think.
I think it's the
Yeah.
band that I've realized the potential is high enough that I just give it all that I have.
Oh, you're just sweet talking to us.
And also, as well, I actually saw via Instagram and your guys' official website that you recently got signed by the label Punkerton Records. I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about that label deal, and of course, how did you guys ultimately land with that phenomenal label? Because I know their roster is absolutely like lengthy of amazing alumni.
Yeah, no, that was pretty cool. So we never really intended on signing labels. Like we're just kind of like DIY, right? And you know, labels at this stage in the game isn't something you really necessarily need in order to
If anything,
to progress.
historically is bad juju, right?
Yeah. So I was talking to another band that was on the label. They're half Dizzy, and they're from Long Island, New York. One of the things I do with the PR part of it too is I network a lot, and I've met a lot of people in a lot of bands, and I was like, you know what? Your label's kind of cool. Like, what do they do for you? And what, you know, what is it all about and whatever. She's like, you know what? Just give Brandon a call or whatever, or just chat with him and see what's up. And basically that's what it was. And we just kind of hit it off, and it's just kind of like a cross promotion kind of thing. And it's working out well. They're going to do distribution for CDs and stuff, and vinyls if we go that route. But yeah, it wasn't anything that was planned. It just kind of serendipitous. It's just kind of something that happened, which is really cool, and I'm glad that it did.
Yeah.
And it's contractually loose, I believe, because of the fact that they're up and coming as far as like he's based in the US and we're based in Canada.
Yeah,
so it's almost like a cross promotion deal, even, you know what I mean? Like there's no contractual agreements or money on the line and that kind of thing, you know?
Right,
which is actually really cool.
Yeah, because and we made that clear from the beginning, and we still realize that there's potential in ways that we can help each other out. So we're like, yeah, man, let's just do it. So that's how that happened.
And I got to say, some of the best business relationships is actually based upon no contracts. Because at the end of the day, contracts just get in the way of any business relationship. I don't care what anyone says. At some point in time, a contract will definitely get somebody arguing at some point.
Yeah, man. Like
absolutely,
contracts are only paramount, I would say, if you think that the person that you're getting involved with has a chance to or tendency to fuck you over, right? Like, so when it's a good vibe and both sides of the party are grassroots, you know what I mean, trying to get our foothold, and
something important for me was like, I don't really like being told what to do.
Yeah.
So
we don't toe
like,
no lines.
So like, how much? Like one of the biggest questions before like kind of agreeing this partnership was how much independence do we actually have? Because that's pretty important to me.
Yeah, we have 100% creative control, which is really important to us, as Kayla just mentioned. And just talking to Brandon from Punkerton, it's a DIY label, which is something we're really interested in, and there's nothing really to lose, and we can do cross promotions. So it's really it was something that really appealed to us. So we talked about it, and over a course of a few months, we decided, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and have this partnership. So that's where we are now, and it's been great.
And also on May 12th of 2022, you guys actually released your debut self-titled EP. I was wondering if you could actually tell us a bit more about this particular project. And of course, where can we actually buy or stream ourselves a copy of this amazing record today?
Oh, thanks.
So the EP is available on pretty much all streaming platforms.
Yeah.
Because we released it through DistroKid, so it put on like in everything.
Yeah.
Before that, we did release our 5-song demo. Which is pretty much only on Bandcamp and like one song on YouTube.
Yeah.
But the EP itself, on all streaming platforms.
You can buy it off Bandcamp as well.
Yeah.
And I really actually enjoy DistroKid. When you actually brought that up a few moments ago, I actually did some distribution for some artists back in the day, beginning of my career. And I got to say, probably one of the best services that I actually use just for like digitally distribution. I really love the fact they have the legacy option. So say if it's not bad to say if you guys pass away, the music is still available to be online, man. It's so amazing that they actually do that.
And it's so cool how they distribute to all the modern platforms that you expect to find music on, right? But they have like you just pay them a subscription fee to do the work for you, essentially, to get it out there. And they got no contracts, they don't take no cut, you know. It's a good deal, I think.
It's a really
especially when you think about the technology and what's involved, right? How much work is actually going into this?
Yeah.
Well, a subscription fee is worth.
It's a really good business model. Like whoever it is that set it up, man, like they know what the hell they're doing, and it's working.
Hey, let me ask, because obviously you guys distribute your songs through, DistroKid and whatnot. How do you guys feel about this day and age with the music distribution? Because obviously I know how it works with artists. Sometimes you guys don't really get the royalties that you guys really deserve when it comes to like music. So I heard like Spotify is like literally like a half a penny per stream.
I'm just happy that people are listening to our stuff. Really, like is like the ultimate thing. That's all I really give a shit about, and throwing it out there. I'm happy that people seem to like it and listen to it, and that's so for me.
My point that I'd like to say on this, because I got a couple bands that are on the DistroKid system, and I see how the money is doled out and all that. A lot of people think that, or they claim a lot of, I guess, what do you call it, like people that have been in the music scene since before streaming became a thing. They look at it like, oh, they pay artists pennies. They pay artists pennies. Well, the reality is we're getting into a more populated world, and technology is becoming more accessible. Way more people can record an album in their basement now than they could even 10, 15 years ago, right? So you flood the waters, right, with what you can listen to. And the fact that there is a central platform like Spotify or like YouTube Music or whatever that some people can go to and just likely have a subscription to, and you can just give them their link and they can hear your music. That has pretty crazy value in and of itself with the kind of saturated music industry that we live in these days, right? And at the end of the day, I think Spotify takes like 5 or 10% of the subscription revenue, and the rest is actually mathematically divvied between all rights holders, not artists, but rights holders on artists on their platforms. And the problem is, as it's always been, is the record labels. Exactly. Universal Studios by themselves makes like $17 million a day off of Spotify because their stable holds like 5 or 6 of the top 20 artists, right? And those get the most streams on Spotify, and it is totally evenly distributed between everybody on the platform. But because Universal and Roadrunner and all these big labels own the most popular artists in their stable, they get their share of the streams, right? And then the last 10% of all the streams on the platform are divvied between the 3 or 4 million independent artists, right? And that's why everybody gets pennies. It's because the most popular artists that people listen to that are pushed on popular platforms are owned by the labels. And they got paid for the record when they recorded it, but the labels get all the residuals. And that it really is just labels, man. It's labels kind of owning everything. It's not really the platform itself. Because the platform is just keeping up with the times.
Hey, sorry to interrupt. Hey, asshole, turn off your notifications.
Oh, sorry.
For me, what Spotify does for me, what gives me gratification about Spotify is when I look at the demographics and I see, holy shit, there's somebody in Argentina listening to our stuff, or there's somebody in the Czech Republic. Like, how did this get there? Like, and I want to know, and I try to trace how that got there. And at the end of the year, they do the rap thing, and they're like, "Hey, your music hit this many countries." I'm like, "How the fuck did that happen?" That's so cool, right? Yeah. So that's what I love about it. I don't even think about the money thing. I don't even know whose bank account it goes to. Maybe Evan's. I don't know, but I don't care about that. It's like where the music ends up, who's listening to it, how many people are listening to it, and that's what I love about it.
That's another thing that I've started to say on detractors from the whole streaming, give your music out for free, do your shows for $10 kind of crowd. Well, inflation's getting worse. People can't afford to come out to fucking shows, so you're charging more than $10 a show. Like to a lot of people, that's like shit. $20 a show, that's 2 fucking beers. That's like getting me halfway there, you know, especially with our demographic. So I always think that I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing it for immortality.
Yeah.
Because if people remember your name when you're dead, even if it's like 20, 30 people that's dispersed across however much landscape that you can disperse it. Yeah, man, I do it for immortality, not the money. Because if my name can be remembered when I'm dead, I don't care how much fucking money I died on. You know?
Yeah, I do it
I
because
drink to that.
it's
I
been
drink to that.
for me since I was 16 years old now, and I'm 44 now. And I've been in a whole bunch of different bands since then, and for me, it's the outlet. It's, you know, I have a platform to release all of this, you know, like anguish and whatever I'm thinking about, whatever Kayla's writing about, and I can identify it and we can express it, and people are listening to it and they get into it. That's what it's about for me. If we're on stage and we're having fun and the crowd is having as much fun as we are, that's a really good fucking show. I don't care how many chords I played right. I don't know how many notes I've messed up or whatever.
And we have definitely fucked up.
Oh yeah, if everybody out there is having a
Yeah.
good time,
We
that's a good show.
We flew to Ottawa to play one show at the Punk Fest.
Just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Why the fuck not, right?
And we played the show. It was great. We rented gear or whatever, but my fucking guitar pedals weren't wired up correctly. So I didn't have overdrive for the whole fucking set. And no, everyone was so polite. And they didn't they didn't notice shit, but like I swear to God, it didn't sound like how we should have.
No.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
when you're watching 100 people fucking circle pit,
Yeah.
you don't care.
And they
Yeah.
still did it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like that's
They're still super surprised. I remember like halfway through that set, I was like, or like after the first one, we're like, fuck, we sound awfully strummy. What the fuck?
Yeah.
wrong.
Ever you're gonna
Something's
turn it
wrong.
on?
But like, roll with it, I guess. Show must go on.
But they dug it. They loved it. They were doing like Dustin said. That was our first time we saw people circle pit to our fucking songs, and
It was pretty
that
cool.
is such a rush.
It was a humbling
it was
experience.
amazing. Yeah.
Watching like that 2 days of Punk Fest, watching a sold out room of 150 people just mosh the entire goddamn time.
It's
was
just awesome.
amazing.
Yeah,
we
it's so good.
threw pool noodles into the crowd, and people were beating the shit out of each other. It was great.
I've never heard.
Yeah,
They sounded like
crocodile.
they were hitting each other with kendo sticks, and they were fucking pool noodles.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it was awesome.
And speaking of that show, guys, I actually have that in my question list because obviously you guys, like you said, you flew from Winnipeg all the way to the Canada's capital of Ottawa, Ontario. Aside from the show, what was it like actually just being able to venture around the nation's capital and, of course, just perform at this iconic festival?
I thought you were gonna say venture around after 10 p.m. downtown.
See, I grew up in Ottawa as well, so I know to not even venture even into that question.
in Ottawa, we just chase Evan around.
Yeah.
Huge rush.
It was really fun. It
Yeah.
was like a completely different scene over there. Like, Evan and I were just kind of like, like we ran off with a couple of Jimmy from CIDB, and then Ben, the owner of DeCuff.
Yeah.
We were like, oh, we're gonna go hit up Dominion. Anybody want to come? We're like, sure, and like just ran off and whatever, and had a few drinks there, and then we were like kind of walking back, and we are like, it was just
Walk
so
into this
different.
bar in Ottawa and instantly, like, people you don't know recognize your T-shirt because you
Yeah.
got somebody from Alberta on your T-shirt,
Yeah.
right? It's like, hey!
And it was different. It was so weird. 'Cause I remember, like, it was what, like fucking 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
The bar had closed. And then Evan and I were walking back, and I was like, Evan, stop for a second. I was like, do you it feels safe here.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like I'm about to get stabbed. And it's 2 in the morning. Like, there's a lot of nightlife and stuff going
Yeah.
on, and like it's
In
not.
Winnipeg,
it
our
doesn't feel
downtown
sketchy.
core, or in Winnipeg, the downtown core is a husk,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's very unfriendly.
Yeah.
Well, like it's dark outside right now. Downtown would be fucking terrifying.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's like a completely different culture and
Yeah.
nightlife over there, right? Because like the downtown area, like you actually feel kind of safe walking around and whatever.
Oh, it's because
and,
there's actually people out there walking.
Yeah,
around.
yeah,
We
exactly.
did take the bus. At
And
home at,
yeah, and
2
then,
in the
like, the
morning
second night
on
of
a
Punk
broken
Fest.
ankle.
Yeah, because you fucked yourself up in the pit. But yeah, and we were like going back to on the O train and whatever. Even walking there, like the main station, it was still just kind of. It felt pretty like genuinely safe. It
Yeah,
wasn't
like there was somebody who was talking to us at the bus stop, and it was like probably 1 or 2 in the morning.
yeah.
Long story short, we love Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Ottawa is better,
Yeah,
objectively.
yeah, like, not gonna lie.
You got black squirrels over there. That's pretty
Yeah,
fucking
it's
cool.
pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Until those fuckers attack you. That's all I gotta say. Some of those little squirrels are vicious as fuck. That's all I gotta say.
More dangerous. Yeah. Do they have guns?
We don't
Ours probably have knives.
I don't know yet, but they are evolving, so give it time.
Yeah.
we get stabbed here. We get attacked by squirrels there.
Equilibrium.
But also as well, guys, on September 2nd of 2022, you actually released a single titled CUNT, Cancel Us Next Tuesday. I was wondering if you could actually tell us a bit more about this phenomenal single. And of course, I have to ask, because obviously the title, this is cancel culture like era. Did anybody actually come up to you and be like, hey, I'm offended by the name of your guys' song?
No,
We
not
did it
yet,
too
not yet.
confidently.
So
Like
here's-
if you do it with confidence this way, you know, and you got somebody like
So-
Kayla fronting it.
Okay, so
We're good.
the way that this song kind of came around, I was already kind of fucking around with some lyrics about like cancel culture because I think it's stupid. It doesn't solve the problem. It just sweeps it under the rug, you know?
Amen.
And then Evan was like, hey, one day just in the band chat was like, we should write a song called Cancel Us Next Tuesday. And I was like, he's like, we couldn't do it in Whatever Men, but we probably could get away with it in Shit Happens because of the, you know, like the female fronted stuff, right? And I was like, you know what? Already got some lyrics. Let's do this, right? So it kind of just pieced together, and it was a collaborative song for sure. And it just kind of rolled out the way it was. I have a very what's the word? Cynical, satirical look on our politics and social situations.
Not at all.
I think that like people just need to like get over the shit and get along, and like that's why I think cancel culture is kind of dumb.
It's kind of a testament too of just how well we gel together. Because I mean, when Evan's like, "Hey, you know, this song, I have this idea," and she's like, "You know what? I already kind of have an idea for this type of song."
And it was funny how this song wrote because like Evan kind of was like, "Hey, this song title," and then I already kind of had some lyrics, but then for the chorus part, Bill was just like, "Hey, you know, it'd be fun that kind of chant cancel part." So Bill kind of came up with the chorus part, right? So it was like a whole like collaborative kind of effort. It was cool. It just jived.
And you know what, DG Immortal, you asked if somebody was offended by that song, and oddly enough, nobody has really said anything about it.
No.
In fact,
everyone just been like,
yeah, like we have the crowd chanting that when in a little break between that separates the first part of the song from the second song, and we got people chanting.
We're like, everybody with us now. C-U-N-G.
And we have people of all ages come to our shows.
People wanted an excuse to say it.
Yeah,
They don't want to say it.
Yeah.
I got to admit, I was just going to say that. So if I was at a Shit Happens show and you say chant, and I'd be like, cunt. That's all I'm going to say over and over and over again. I'd be like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah. It's not that people don't want to say it. People are just afraid to say it. So here you go, guys. Here's your excuse to say it with us.
It's like if you said, "Hey, elbow," and everyone got offended. It's a fucking body part, man. Get over it.
I think with the cancel culture as well, because I do know back in the 90s and whatnot, it was still kind of there, but nobody really had the like technology to really get their opinions across like this, right? You had to go to like newspapers and write letters. Now everybody has Facebook, so everybody can just be like, "You offend me." You know what I mean? So now it reaches everyone so quickly.
That's just the thing. Like everybody, I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden everybody got offended by everything. And you just can't get away from that, whether it's, you know, just even walking your dog down the street. Like your dog offended me. It's like, dude, like I'm just walking the dog, you know, like I don't know at what point people started getting offended about everything.
See, my thing about that, and like part of the biggest like the lyrics I put into that song is like social media is like a huge platform of cancel culture. Definitely like I enjoy like talking to people, and even if I don't agree with their opinions, I'm still going to hear them out because you're going to learn something from everybody. And just being like, I don't agree with you, cancel. It doesn't give you the opportunity to learn the different.
You don't understand. You can't even understand why you don't agree with them.
Yes, and that's exactly it. You're like, I don't agree with you, but continue the conversation. Like, okay, well, this is why I don't agree with you, and I see my values in this. There's your values. Let's move on with life and be your individual.
And then, good day, sir. No blood is spilt.
We will agree to disagree. Simple as that, you know, move on.
There should always be merit to both sides of an argument. And you should kind of hear everybody out before you're like, no, my opinion is right and everybody else is wrong. and I'm going to convince you why you're wrong and I'm right. I don't know. I don't like that.
I'd rather figure out why someone is wrong.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
And then speaking of the cancel culture thing, just when we're talking about how like easily people are offended over little things,
Right.
on my very first car that just broke down actually not too long ago, I had to get a new one, so I don't have this anymore. But I had a bumper sticker actually on my car that was Blink 182, but like background was a Pornhub logo and it said "Music for Lonely Nights." You wouldn't even believe how many people in like parking lots would be like, "Your bumper sticker offends me." I'd be like, "Okay, why?" They'd be like, "I just don't like the background. I know what that's from." I'm like, "What is it from?" And they were like, "Pornhub." I'm like, no, it's Blink182.com.
Yeah.
Like,
What you got to say to them is like, no, you should think about what you really think about this, and then teach it to your kids and why you think that way about it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because like that's why people are already offended. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
my kid.
and I mean, it's true.
cannot
Blink-182 is great music for lonely nights. It just works out perftly.
Yeah,
Plus
yeah.
a lot of like
Hey man, jacking off and or double clicking the mouse, that's a totally healthy habit.
and you know, like things were so different like 20, even 10 years ago. And you can't really be like, you know what? I'm offended by something you did 10 years ago. And I was like, but you know, things are so much different then. Like, how can you be offended by that now? Unless it's something egregious.
If it's egregious, yeah. If you're fucking Bill Cosby, then you fucking cross some lines. But
I've never had a pudding pop for the record.
Neither have I, and I don't think I want one either.
Oh, like a real one. Not what you're thinking.
But also as well, guys, I actually saw that on March 11th of 2023, in a matter of weeks, you guys will actually be releasing a brand new album titled Cultivating Collective Confusion. I was wondering if you can actually just tell us a bit more about this up-and-coming record, and of course, like, what can we expect from it when it does drop to the general public? Because honestly, as a Shit Happens fan myself, I'm a little intrigued on what you guys got cooking in the pot over there.
So the single is called Cultivating Collective Confusion, and it's going to be an EP release of called. We only decided the title of the EP tonight, which is just going to be Collective Confusion.
Because it's less confusing than cultivating collective confusion.
Exactly. So we're going to be releasing a single a month, but the first song to drop is Cultivating Collective Confusion on March 11th, and then we'll be releasing a single a month after that.
Expect Shit Happens, but a little more hooks.
A little bit more hooky.
Yeah.
A little bit more, I don't know. We have progressed as musicians, so it's a little different from our other stuff.
Mhm.
So I don't know, we're just trying some shit out. We'll see how it goes. But the single release is my frustration with society's cultivating confusion, I guess. Just kind of recognizing patterns of hearing the same shit, but it's revised and like contradicting things.
Patterns of non-patterns.
Patterns of non-patterns.
Yes.
It is pretty much my realization of like, hey, society has a burnout cycle. So we hear the same shit and no direction. We get all hyped up about it and then fired up and then we fucking burn out from it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of that.
We are really excited for this one because it has taken our music and our ability to a higher level. And I know and I appreciate that a lot of people love our existing songs that are available, but this is I think it's gonna blow people away in comparison.
So. The lyrical content is still a lot of that kind of like political satire, though, so like the lyrics themselves haven't actually changed that much. It's just faster.
Yeah, like Evan has to do stretching exercises now, so his hands.
We had to try and split the song.
Hypnosis, man, it sucks.
He's like, shit, I can't play these ones in a row because my wrist, bro. I'm like, wow.
And since I have a torn ACL right now, it's the same fucking thing.
He's broken. He's got his knee brace on.
Yeah, our drummer's got a knee brace.
Yeah.
Torn ACL.
Oh, that's fun.
And we jammed today.
We jammed before this. Also, why we might be a couple more beers in than you.
Just to
Hey, it's all good.
Yeah, just to give you a little example of how different it is and how much better it is, we have to carefully plan the set list now to give Kayla a little bit of a break because the way the cadence of the song is and the speed of it and the tempo It's just, we have to figure out where the breaks are going to be. And we didn't have to do that before. So.
Oh, dude, on some of these new songs, if I miss a breath count, I'm fucked. I'm going to pass out.
Yeah. The basement show, you almost passed out.
The basement show. Oh, fuck yeah. Our February basement show. I missed one breath count. And then by the end of one of our songs, I was just like on my knees. Like, I was like, push it. Fuck. Like, we're almost done.
Yeah. Now measure that shit, motherfucker.
Measure that shit. Don't miss your breath counts.
No.
Yeah, it's really cool. We're excited.
And also, as well, I actually saw on your guys' Instagram that on April 2nd of 2023, you actually be in Winnipeg, Manitoba for you will be a part of the punk rock flea market. And when I saw this, I was so intrigued because honestly, I absolutely love punk rock. Clearly, because I own a punk rock station and I love going to a flea market. So I got to ask, what exactly is the punk rock flea market? And of course, like, what vendors are actually going to be there alongside Shit Happens?
Okay, well, you kind of caught us off guard on that one because I know about it and I was like, I'm going to actually go this year and check it out.
I didn't know about it either, honestly. That's the question we're not prepared for. That is for fucking sure. I just saw it and I was like, fuck yeah, I want to go check it out.
Her art is pretty fucking dope.
Yeah. Expect to see her art on the release, which is really cool.
Oh shit! When you were talking about my art?
Yeah.
Oh yeah! I'm fucking around with some stuff.
What about punk rock flea markets? It's not something that's it's in a lot of different cities, which is kind of cool. And I think that they just wanted to bring it here too. There's a lot of interest for it. It's a lot of vendors just selling, things that they create. Patches, jewelry, things that are more in the punk rock subculture, and they will be selling it at those. There was a lot of demand for vendors too, so they had to select carefully who they were gonna, ask for the things. So,
I guess I have an excuse to go now.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
By the way, you're going with me.
It's gonna be awesome. We're all gonna take a peek and see what they got and spend too much money, but that's a good thing.
It sounds pretty killer. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of jealous that I'm here in Ontario and not out there in Winnipeg for that.
You guys don't have anything like that, eh?
We don't. We just got the regular flea markets where it has like 80-year-old people selling like knitted mittens and shit.
Yeah. 56-year-old guy be like, no. This PlayStation 2 game is still worth fucking $35.
Yeah, man.
I see that all the time, man. You know what? I fell for one of those, actually. I bought a PS2 game, totally off topic. I just got to say, I bought a PS2 game for like $20 that I haven't played in like 20 years since I was a kid. I got it home and the fucking thing didn't work. I was so pissed. I was so pissed. I got hustled by an old dude.
In the last like 2
What's up to this doctor, man?
In the last like 2 weeks, I fixed my Super Nintendo and my NES, and fuck, I'm a kid again right now. It's great.
And I got a 3-year-old, so I'm like, what the fuck is video game these days?
How do you feel having to blow into that cartridge as an adult for like an hour, man? I don't know. When I blow in my NES cartridge, I'm like out of breath before I even get a chance to play.
Yeah.
I'm playing Mario like.
Yeah. It's like, come on, Donkey Kong, work, you son of a bitch.
Q-tips and alcohol.
But also as well, I have to ask, obviously you got a brand new single coming out. You guys are going to be doing your thing and whatnot. But I have to ask, what's next for Shit Happens? Is there anything we missed during this evening's interview? Anything else you still want to talk about or promote?
It's only February and things are already happening, which is really exciting.
Shit is happening.
Yes.
We are going on tour in June.
Yeah.
Punk Canada record.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a few things. Okay, let's breathe and we'll lay this out a little bit.
Let's talk about the tour first.
We're gonna talk about tour first. So yeah, we're playing a tour out east.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be hitting up the cities that we have locked down for sure are Ottawa, Montreal, Quebec City, Toronto. We only have like 2 more dates to lock down, so we're gonna be playing 7 shows, I believe, is our plan. And we're really excited for that. We've made a lot of really awesome friends and networking connections and whatever. So extra shout out to Jason in CIDB for being our hookup in Montreal, and Paul Gott from Ripcords for giving us a whole bunch of like tour information and tips and shit like that.
And we're playing with the Ripcords.
Yeah.
Like,
so
that's big.
If anybody's in Montreal, the one that we have locked down with all the bands for sure is Montreal at Trackside with Ripcords, Hordrove, CIDB, and us.
And don't sleep on the motherfucking Ripcords, man. Those fuckers hold it down.
Yeah.
Like people think DOA, SNFU, Fucking, you know what I mean? Like for Canadian punk rock, Rip Currents are there the whole fucking time.
40 years,
And
man.
if you knew, you know. And they're still fucking doing it. And Paul's still fucking promoting local scenes and raising people up.
Paul God, man. Cheers to that.
Cheers to Paul God. I have officially deemed him our punk rock godfather because he's been giving us all this tour advice and whatever and been like super supportive and like answering any questions we've had. So Paul, you're our punk rock godfather. Hope you don't mind.
We were just messing around one day and I got a chat from Paul and he's like, hey guys, do you want to be on the Volume 2 Canada Punk compilation? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, why are you interested in us?
Canadian punk legends, man,
and
like street punk legends.
And so what he said was, you guys are active and I love your shit. You guys are pure punk, and that coming from Paul, who's been in the scene for 40 fucking years, was amazing. And it's stuff like that that really energizes us and motivates us to go.
And what really freaks Kayla out about it is we're on the same vinyl as Dayglow.
Oh, we're gonna. We can't don't talk about it too much. But actually, it's already been released.
It's already been announced.
Dayglow Abortions is a huge I know I've been such a fan of them for a long time. I'm like, guys, we're gonna be on a press record with fucking Dayglow Abortions. Like, holy shit!
We're gonna be on Punk Canada Volume 2. That's what they're talking about.
Volume 2, yeah.
It's a collaboration Canadian record that Paul Gott from the Breakcords has done. Edition 1 that was released last year.
Yeah, and the Winnipeg band that was on that last year was Chernobyl.
Yeah.
So
to be at that level of interest is really humbling because Chernobyl Wolves, man, they can lay it down. They're
best bass player and second best bass player in Winnipeg.
Yeah, you watch it.
And also, when you guys actually drop the flyer for the Ottawa show and this little East tour, definitely send the flyer my way. I'll actually promote it on the radio station's social medias because we're actually about 45 minutes from Ottawa. We're at a
45-minute
drive, so
we'll see you there. We will see you there.
I'm definitely going to try my best to actually slide on through.
That would be amazing. Yeah,
I'll buy you a beer, bro.
That show we have pretty well lined up. So it will be Bomb Squad, Clawfield, Wet for Days, and us at Cafe de Cuff, July 9th.
Yeah.
June 9th. June 9th.
That's the Cuff. If you don't know, it's right above. What's the bar?
Mavericks.
Right above Mavericks.
Okay, I know exactly where that is. A phenomenal bar, by the way. I've had plenty drunk encounters over at Mavericks. All I gotta say.
Thank Eric from Clawfield for the Ottawa.
Oh yeah, Eric. He put together the Ottawa Punk Fest that we went to. And we were shout out to Eric and Clawfield and those guys because they put together the Punk Fest that we did last year.
You know what? I want to give a shout out to Kyla from By Octopi in Toronto because you know what? She I approached her. I was like, you know what? We got this tour coming. I don't know what venues are, what bands to put together. She's like, I got this, and we got it secured. She did it, man, and it's that kind of support that we really appreciate. And Kyla, thank you. That was amazing. So
I get a piss. Don't sign off till I go.
I'm next in line.
I'm third in line.
I don't break the seal for radio shows.
I'm far before. I'm fucked.
We have a lot of support, and that's just awesome.
Yeah. Because this is like when bands I used to be in before shit happens. I've been in the metal scene in the city for
Forever?
Yeah.
You old motherfucker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Dustin brings the metal influence to the band. We all have different
maybe 15 years
influences. Yeah.
And so starting a punk band was new to me, of course.
It was your idea.
It was my idea, yeah. Because
Well, we're on the topic of that actually. While we're waiting for him to come back from the can, I gotta ask, man. Like, how was the transition from metal to punk? Obviously, you said it was really new to you, but like, was it difficult to transition from metal to punk rock?
When we started originally, Blast Beats, yeah. So I originally played guitar in the band. In Shit Happened.
That's how we started out. Yeah.
That's how we started. So I'm more used to playing guitar. And then when we were finding a drummer, when our drummer left at the time, it was like, you know what? Finding a drummer in Winnipeg is fucking impossible. I have 2 drum kits in my basement. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when the Lamb Sheets happened, so like our drummer left because at the time, because drummers are whores because they're well sought after. He was in 7 bands. So when he was like, guys, too much going on, we are like, we understand. It's fine. You're in 7 bands right now. Like, no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
We get it.
Yeah.
And then Dustin was like, it's fucking impossible finding a drummer. I'm moving to drums.
Yeah.
And then we acquired Mr. Evan there. Yeah.
And they can play. Drummers can play every instrument. They just don't tell you that.
Especially
Yeah.
the drums.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
But also, guys, I have to ask before we wrap things up here. Obviously, I know how to find you individuals on social media, but for the people that are just tuning in, whether it's live, pre-recorded on YouTube or the radio station airwaves, how do they go about finding Shit Happens and, of course, individual members of this amazing band as well? That way they can follow you guys and stay updated on this tour, this single, and everything coming in 2023.
So our Instagrams, the Instagrams is Shit Happens Official.
Yep.
Our Facebook. So our first Facebook account, which was Shit Happens Official, got sucked. And
Zuckerberg.
locked out because
Because of the word shit.
because of the word shit. So now our Facebook is sh_T Happens Winnipeg.
Yeah.
So the different. And then I know we got TikTok. You did the TikTok.
Yeah, we
right?
got TikTok. It Shit Happens Official on that one too.
Yeah. What else we got?
I got an Instagram personally at Ev5000. That's EV5000 on Instagram.
Actually, if you go to our Instagram page, like the band's Instagram, Shit Happens Official, you'll see all of our personal Instagrams in the biography of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then follow my other band, The Whatever Man. Just unplugging it. Just ran
Oh yeah, no, they had a pretty wicked release. What, Money Making Mutts? Yeah.
Money Making Months. That's our
Money Making
newest
Mutts.
single.
It's a wicked single. Check that shit
That's
out.
basically my other band where I'm Kayla in that band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Whatever Man, you'll just Google it, you'll find it.
And then Instagram, yours is what? Illusbilist?
Yeah, something like that. You'll find it on the
That
you'll
wild
find
thing
it, yeah.
bitch, and what's
Mine's
yours?
just my full name, just Dustin James Rubin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got to say, first and foremost, guys, thank you so much for sliding on through to 99.9 Punk World Radio FM, enjoying a couple beers with us, and just talking about your amazing band within the punk rock community. I'm pretty sure I definitely shall see you guys when you come out to Eastern Ontario for the Ottawa show. But for now, definitely enjoy a few more brewskis and enjoy one for the old boy DJ Immortal, because I'm officially out of beer. So
This one's for you, brother.
Thank you, man. Appreciate
Thank you
it.
so much.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Definitely have yourselves a wonderful night out there in Winnipeg. I'm pretty sure we definitely shall talk again soon. But for now, have a wonderful night.
You as well, man.
See you
Take
next
care,
time,
bye.
bro.